Spring is the perfect time to find green tomatoes in the store, so I thought I could really go for some fried green tomatoes. Hi, it's Athena at Gluten Freeology, where I make gluten-free versions of your favorite comfort foods and some healthy stuff too. I like to clean some of my fruits and vegetables with a mix of vinegar and baking soda. Of course, I don't do that with greens, but sometimes tomatoes can have a greasy film on the outside, and I found that this does a really good job of getting rid of that. So I let them soak for a little bit and then rinse them off again, and they should be ready to go after that. I think fried green tomatoes are one of the easiest soul food recipes. Doesn't have a lot of ingredients. It's really super simple. Some recipes only use cornmeal, but I like a little bit of a softer texture to my fried food. So I'm adding some gluten-free 1-for-1 flour. But if you prefer extra crispy, you can just use cornmeal and maybe a little bit of cornstarch. I'm adding onion and garlic powder, paprika, and salt and pepper, and then I'm just going to give this a good stir. I'm only going to fry up one of the tomatoes, so you really don't need that much flour. All of this is about half a cup. So once I'm satisfied that everything is thoroughly mixed, I'm going to set it aside. Now for my wet batter, I've made fried green tomatoes and added milk, but I was fresh out, so I just added 2 eggs, and I'm keeping it really simple just because I added a lot of seasoning to the dry batter, and I'm only seasoning my eggs with salt and pepper and a little bit of hot sauce. That's optional. And here comes the fun part, slicing up your tomato. So of course you want to remove the stem and get rid of the white core that's at the top right here. And so once you get rid of that, you can just slice it up however you like. You can do extra thick. I'm doing medium size, about half the size of my finger. I'm planning on putting them in a sandwich later, so I didn't want them to be super thick. But green tomatoes are super firm, much firmer than a ripe tomato, so they hold up really well when you're frying them, and you can soak them and leave them in your batter for a while and they're not gonna become super soft. So I soaked them in the wet batter about 10 minutes. It doesn't take that long, but I went to go toast up some bread for a sandwich. And then you just make sure that your green tomato is thoroughly coated like so. And it should look like this. All of the sides and edges are covered in your flour, and then you want to sit that on a plate and just go ahead and repeat the same steps with the rest until you've got a full plate of tomatoes ready to be fried. When you flick water into the pan and it bubbles up, that's how you know it's ready. You could also do the toothpick method. If bubbles pop up around the toothpick, it's also ready to fry. I'm frying these on high heat. It only took about 2 minutes per side. You want to go for a nice light golden brown color. And this is what I'm talking about the light golden brown. And so I did about 2 batches, shallow pan frying them, and placed them on a paper towel just to drain some of the excess oil. You can eat this by itself, but I decided to put it on a sandwich. If you wanted it as an appetizer, it would go really great with an aioli sauce or some hot sauce. I did end up adding chicken to this. I tried hard to be vegetarian for a day, but I just had a craving for some meat with the sandwich, so I ended up adding some chicken slices, and it was absolutely delicious. So go out and get yourself some green tomatoes so you can try this recipe. Thanks for watching.